Welcome back to Quantreef.com. The Sol sitting at 76.03, right in a squeeze zone between two liquidity walls. Today I'm walking through liquidity, support and resistance, VWAP, Fibonacci, fair value gaps, positioning, and the likely path over the next several hours. Let's get into it. Price is at 76.03, sitting below session VWAP at 76.44, which tells us intraday buyers haven't fully reclaimed value yet. But it's above both anchored VWAPs from the swing high near 74.91 and the swing low near 75.24, so the broader structure since that swing still favors buyers. Momentum reads mixed, risk-off regime, neither side fully in control right now. The nearest big pool sits just below at 75.50, only about 0.7% away, and it's carrying a huge chunk of resting size with a reach probability near 80% over the next day. That's the magnet. The upside pool at 78.21 is much further out and far less likely to get tagged soon. Price tends to drift toward the closer, heavier pool first because that's where stops cluster and market makers can fill size efficiently, then often reverses once it's swept. Looking at the panel, there's no resistance printed above price right now, which itself says something about how thin overhead supply is. Below, support stacks up starting with the stop-loss level at 74.51, then fib 0.382 around 73.71, then target 1 at 72.51, target 2 at 70.53, and target 3 near 69.06. Downside is clearly the side more likely to get tested first given how close and heavy that liquidity is, and a break below the stop-loss level would invalidate the current bullish lean. Above price, the nearest fair value gap is the 4-hour bearish one between 76.11 and 76.53, sitting right on top of us and acting like a magnet given its high revisit tendency. Further up sits the daily gap near 79.80. Below, there's a 4-hour bullish gap around 75.14 to 75.35, plus a daily gap down near 74.35 to 75.73. On the fib side, price sits just 0.5% from the 1.618 extension near 76.38, which is likely to get touched before the deeper structural gaps do. The 9-layer read grades this a watch, N-score 81, HTS 53, so readiness is decent but trend strength conviction is soft. Carrying the score are trend and structure, institutional positioning, and sentiment layers. Dragging it down are macro regime, volatility, and crypto relative strength. Positioning shows retail 67% long and top account 70% long, but the 4-hour taker flow is basically split, 49 long to 51 short, so the crowd's leaning long while actual flow is leaning short, meaning longs are more exposed if price dips. Given how close and heavy that 75.50 pool is, price likely probes there first, running out downside stops before any real reversal. If buyers defend it, look for a bounce back toward the 76.38 fib extension and the gap just above. If sellers keep pressing through, 74.50 and the 73.70 fib support come into play next, and that's where the current bullish read gets invalidated. Remember, SOL takes most of its direction from Bitcoin, so check Bitcoin's own liquidity map before leaning either way here. A BTC sweep can override this setup completely. Bullish case confirms on a hold above 75.50 with reclaim of session VWAP, bearish case confirms below the stop-loss level with acceptance under 74.50. So we're sitting right at a decision point, and whichever side takes that 75.50 liquidity first probably dictates the next rail move. If this kind of structured read is useful, give the video a like and subscribe. Quantreef.com runs this same 9-layer grade, probability, and liquidity framework across over 100 coins, with a 7-day trial available. And as always, this is for educational purposes only, not financial advice.